Okay, so we are on page 38 in the one and only Bob. Does anyone remember where we left off in our book? What was the last thing that Bob had? There's two things, because remember last time we didn't read a lot. Caden? He was dreaming. And was it a good dream or a bad dream? A nightmare. He said he was swimming in the river. And who was he swimming with, Emily?
Stella, Ruby, and Ivan.
Stella, Ruby, Ivan, and they were swimming for their lives. And he was swimming, and then he turned around, and what happened? They were gone. But then he heard something. What did he hear? Ooh, someone that's not answering me yet. Sammy?
Faint bark.
He heard a bark. And did he say just any old bark, or did he call it something special? What did he call it? He called it Ace? That bark. And did it tell us whose bark? So you wrote a discussion question inferring who you thought it was and what you think that might mean. Then at the beginning of what we read last time, he was comparing the world to what? Does anybody remember? Tegan?
A tennis ball.
A tennis ball. Does anyone remember the vocabulary word that he used? Starts with a D. Ooh, it's a funny sounding one. Anyone want to give it a shot? Okay, the word is dilapidated. Say dilapidated.
Dilapidated.
And what does that word mean? Ace?
Messed up.
Really messed up. And he was saying that humans have done what? We have treated the world like a dilapidated tennis ball. And what does that mean? We wrote a discussion question about what that ultimately means. Trinity? That we're messing up the world, and that if we don't stop, we're going to ruin it what? Beyond repair. Yes, even more than it already is. So that's where we're picking up on page 38, the smell of storm. By the time everyone else wakes up, I've calmed down, but the wind outside sure hasn't. It's an early fall Saturday, gusty with scraps of sun, clouds bouncing off of each other like bunnies in a basket, messages on the wind pouring in from everywhere, from dogs making their daily rounds, from feral cats, from anxious raccoons. Basically, everybody is asking the same thing. What is the deal with the weather today? I already know. Weather Channel was on last night with a screen full of big, white, cotton candy looking swirls. So pause, don't read ahead. I want you to make an inference. It's on the Weather Channel and it's big cotton candy squirrels. What do you think, Christian? Tornado. What do you think, Sammy? Snow. Caden? Hurricane. Sailor? Snowstorm. Wesley, did you have a guess? Hurricane? Okay, so let's see. Julia's dad, George, had already taped up several windows. Sarah, her mom, packed an emergency bag just in case we have to evacuate. Another hurricane is on the way. Third this season. Not as big as the last couple, but slow moving. I've seen the routine, known the ropes. We had a lot of hurricanes this time last year, didn't we? We missed a bunch of school. Once breakfast is done, I sit on the couch in the living room, waiting impatiently for Julia to come home so she can take me on our daily stroll. She has a dog walking service, and she's out walking other dogs. I get my own private walk, because she's my own private girl. I can practically taste the storm coming through the open window. The back of my throat tingle, the metallic edge, the fizzy energy. But it's more than that. It's as if the air is up to no good, sneaking up on the world and looking for trouble. Page 40, on the poetry of stink. Of course, not everybody can smell what I'm smelling. My nose is a zillion times more powerful than a human's. Dogs are experts at odor, students of stink. We analyze the air the way humans read poetry, searching for invisible truths. And we don't just smell the good and the bad stuff that people notice with their substandard schnozzes. The usual suspects, popcorn and lilacs and freshly sharpened pencils, diapers and Brussels sprouts, and freaked out skunks. No, our noses get it all. The whole shimmery double rainbow in April. What does that mean? So he's comparing dogs' noses to humans' noses. What text feature is he using there? Caden? And that's text structure. I said text feature. He's comparing a human's nose and a dog's nose.
Similar?
Is the word like or as used? Trinity? Emily? Metaphor. Yeah, so he's comparing the shimmery double rainbow in April to dogs' noses. So that is what it is. Humans, they're lucky to get a cloudy day in November. We get that molecule of roast beef dancing on the wind 50 miles from the tidy kitchen where it just slid out of the oven. We get the cherry lollipop under the back seat of the Honda 16 cars up on the highway at rush hour. We get things humans can't even dream of getting. We're the ones who find the miracle earthquake baby cuddled in her crib under tons of rubble. We're the ones who find lost hikers in the wilderness after a quick whiff of a sweaty sock. We can even tell when someone's sick. We can smell seizures and cancer and migraine headaches. Try getting your guinea pig to do that. Eyes are in our book. We smell feelings too. Sad has a sharp scent with an undertone of sweetness. Sad smells like being lost in a winter forest as the sun goes down. And happy? Happy is the best. But there's a touch of wistfulness around the edges. Happy smells like bacon, ice cream served up in an expensive leather shoe. You're going to love every minute of it, but you know it won't last forever. The news, page 43. Sometimes when Julia and I go for walks, I'll break at a corner. Corners are the best for fresh news. And she'll tug and say, "Come on, Bob, there's nothing there." Oh, but there is. Here's the thing about poop and pee. I get that humans are not into them. I see the bathroom door shut tight, the embarrassed, downcast gazes. You guys are totally missing out. There's a whole lot of info hiding in your average pee mail. When dogs want to share the latest gossip, we just wait until nature calls. You'd be amazed what we can learn during a quick bathroom break. People read the news, check the TV, browse the web. I linger over a fire hydrant and inhale the whole wide world. My ears, by the way, are almost as remarkable as my nose. I can pick up all kinds of things humans can't hear. What we do with our nose and our ears is kind of like taking a big old knot and loosening it up, separating out the strands and unbraiding things. People smell a reeking pile of trash in a dumpster. We smell a dollop of cream cheese, a hint of peanut butter, a smattering of Fruit Loops. People hear the roar of a crowd in a stadium. We hear a strain of whiny 4-year-old, a whisper of worried superfan, a note of grumpy hot dog vendor. Man, dogs are cool. Page 45, Snickers. Does anyone remember who Snickers is? Tegan?
The other dog?
Where was this other dog at?
At the Exit 8.
The Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade. Whose dog was she, Emily?
Mac's dog.
And what was her trick that she did in the show, Wesley?
Got on when Stella stayed on the stool. She got on Stella's head.
Yep. And what, does anyone remember what type of dog she was? Ace?
Wiener dog?
Not a wiener dog. She was in the movie, I think. No, I don't even think in the movie she was. Sammy? A poodle. She was a poodle.
She was a poodle in the
Okay, so let's reel it back in. So Snickers, this might be about her. While I watch from my perch on the back of the couch, Julia passes by on the sidewalk. George asked her to keep her dog walking route close to home in case the weather changes. She's wearing a shiny purple raincoat and leading 3 dogs, a goofy mutt named Winston, a timid dachshund named Oscar Mayer, and her, Snickers. An old nemesis of mine. Snickers is a fluffy white poodle with delusions of grandeur, a big, snooty pain in the puffball. Ooh, that pooch drives me crazy. Our mutual dislike goes back to my early days as a stray. Snickers was a fancy, pampered, sleep sleep on a pink satin pillow kind of gal. Her owner, Mac, ran the mall where I lived with Ivan and Ruby. That's where I first encountered Snickers. She teased me mercilessly, and beneath the fuzzy facade, I always suspected there was a little, I don't know, spark there. Anyways, after the mall closed down, Snickers, being Snickers, landed on her feet. Mac married an older widow with more money than sense, and she dotes on that ridiculous poodle. Mac's too lazy to walk Snickers himself, so he hired Julia to do it. "Looking good, Snick baby," I call through the open window, and she gives me her curled lip, squinty-eyed face, which, come to think of it, is pretty much how she always looks. As usual, Snickers is dressed to the max. She's wearing a pink poncho, a sparkly rain hat, and teensy pink boots. Those boots were made for mocking, I add for good measure. It feels good giving her some grief, but before I can really relish in the moment, another annoying acquaintance of mine appears. Page 48, and this will be the last chapter we read. Nutwit. Nutwit, the gray squirrel who lives in the live oak in our front lawn, jumps to a lower branch, looking at me with barely concealed pity. I hate pity, especially the barely concealed kind. "I don't know why you taunt her," he says. "You're hardly in a position to talk, Bob. You are Snickers. Come over here to that window and say that. So you can what? Drool me to death?" "Are you aware that my best friend is a gorilla?" I ask. "You would make fantastic ape chow, dude." Nutwit reaches for a dangling acorn and yanks it free. I thought gorillas were vegetarians. "Ivan eats termites," I say. "He might make an exception for you." "Face it, Bob. You're soft. You're one step away from your own pink rain boots." "He has a point," says Minnie, one of the family's guinea pigs, from her cage next to the TV. "No, he doesn't," says Moo, her cage mate. "Yes, he does," Minnie squeaks. "Doesn't, doesn't." Minnie pauses. "Wait, you tricked me." The guinea pigs rarely agree on anything. Nutwit leaps over to the window ledge, acorn in paw. He presses his tiny, twitchy nose to the screen. "You couldn't last a day out here, Bob. Some of us have to live by our wiles." "Hey, I lived on the street longer than you've been alive." Nutwit nibbles his acorn. He's quite the prissy eater. "Whatever you say, Bob." I say, scram. Fine, hint taken. Anyway, storm's en route. I should be stocking up on my nut stash while I can. Nutwit gives me a wise guy look. That's how we do it in the real world. He scampers off with an acrobatic flourish. Squirrels never do a simple jump when a quadruple backflip cartwheel is an option. "You're full of it," I say, to nobody in particular. "We're full of it," says Minnie. "Yes, we're extremely full of it," says Moo, and they popcorn in agreement. Guinea pigs hop up and down when they're happy. It's called popcorning, and it's totally ridiculous. "You're happy. Wag your tail like a real mammal." "I am not soft," I mutter, nosing my protruding belly. I leap, with effort, off the couch. Then I head to the bathroom for a good long drink from the water bowl of power. And that's where we will end.